gentlemen, Chris, the Wild Boar, and I am so glad you joined us because I have some amazing guests today. I have two fantastic auctioneers that are with me today, and when they get here, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I got these cats next to me, and I'm gonna invite them to hop in. They're gonna be good fills for us for just a little while. These are very good friends of mine. Chris Bohr, the Wild Boar. You know I'm an auctioneer, and I'll tell you what, every business needs a mentor and friends, and that's what I have right next to me. So sitting immediately here in the center, this guy is Minck, Colonel Evan Minck. He's been an auctioneer for 19 years.
2006.
2006. And the guy goes a million miles an hour. He's got one of the bid chance, hello, in the business. And this is what I say. The only reason I won a competition is because he wasn't in it. He's really, really good. Welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, sir.
All right, and sitting next to him, ladies and gentlemen, is a living legend. We have the man, Mr. Marty Higgenbotham. Sure, absolutely. And Mr. Marty Higgenbotham, he's an amazing, amazing man. Hall of Fame auctioneer in 1985. We can talk about a bunch of other things, but ladies and gentlemen, combined, we got 120 years of auction experience, and when you add in Evan and I, you got another 60 years. So we've been doing this for a long time. Guys, remember, almost like it's obscene into the microphone. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in.
Yes, sir.
All righty, so you got some auctions coming up. Let's start over there with the living legend.
We're happy to be here, Chris, and glad you could show up.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you coming.
I appreciate it too, and I don't want to forget to say thank yous because we looped her and we got your wife Melissa back there is going to be our executive producer today.
She didn't know that till just a few minutes ago.
Just a few minutes ago. Yeah,
it's
she
amazing.
She's doing a good job.
She drew the short straw. Remember, almost obscene, guys, almost obscene.
Yes, sir.
All right, Marty Higgenbotham. So not only, tell me now, I know you started in like the 1700s, but in all reality, sir, give us a quick history. I know you've done it before, please. And remember, right into the microphone.
All right, 66 years. I've been on the microphone for 66 years and doing crazy stuff like this. And it's been a blast. We traveled all over the nation selling real estate and whatever else came up. We sold in 49 states and 5 foreign countries. We sold everything from cemetery lots to shopping centers. So bottom line is, we'll get the job done. Give us a call.
God bless you. And not only did you, I mean, my goodness, talk about sitting next to greatness here. Evan, you're not bad either, but sitting next to greatness, Marty, you were inducted in the Hall of Fame. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, the National Auctioneers Hall of Fame, they had a weak moment and they put me in about 1985, I think. And so I've been in there ever since. And this year, when I go to Texas this year to the National Auctioneers Convention, that'll be my 58th auction convention in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
58
years. I have to keep up the presence. You know?
That's awesome.
They keep the rest of the guys straight.
That's right.
I gotcha. And you were the president of that association.
I was the president of the association. I've served in every space that they have, and it's been a great thing. We've brought on a lot of great auctioneers. We trained a lot of auctioneers. I was one of the members that started the Certified Auctioneers Institute in Bloomington, Indiana. That's still going on, and we now have 1,200 certified auctioneers across the nation. And they're just outstanding people.
That would be the equivalent to the PhD in our business, right?
Absolutely.
That's CAI. All right. Absolutely. And then this guy, Evan, my buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I just showed up in 2006, so that's kind of feel a little weird sitting next to him right now. That's a little different.
They still called instant photos the things that you went.
Yeah.
Look, it's instant. Yeah,
it's instant.
How'd you get into it, man? And you've been doing this for a long time.
Been doing it my whole life. So kind of grew up with my father doing it all and going to auctions when I was little and just never thought in a million years I could ever get on the microphone and do what those guys do up there. And then I just figured out one day, my dad goes, you know what? You need to go do it. So in 2005, we started talking about it. I was already doing a lot of other auctions. I was a ringman too for a few years before that. Loved it. Been in the auction world, in the flea market business, antique world, and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily any real estate like Marty has, but all the other kind of stuff, yes. Some animal auctions. Mostly the antiques and stuff like that's what I stick to.
So you used to sell animals, right, to the people,
yeah.
and now you sell people the animals.
$50,000 paintings and $100,000 paintings. Now we've been doing at other auctions because I also call for a lot of other auction houses as well. They like to use me because we get through a lot of items in one day.
Have you ever thought about how many? Well, I'd like to ask you about this, but
Yep.
Evan, how many auction companies have you ever called for as a guest or sitting in?
That's interesting. We just talked about it the other day. We're going to do a T-shirt made and say "Hire me," because I have a list of where it's probably over about 30 to 40 auction houses I've called for or helped get started. And then I did a list of how many items I think I've sold, probably roughly in over 1 million items. Probably, yeah, it's been
Wow.
pretty cool. So
How
yeah,
about that?
pretty cool. Nothing like this gentleman.
Well, how
but-
about, have you ever thought about that, Marty? How many auction companies or auction businesses have you sat in?
Well, I've been involved with auction companies all over America, and as an example today, I had two calls from two different auction companies, one in Indiana and one in Louisiana, saying, "Hey, Marty, I need help. I've got a problem here. Let's deal with it. Give us some help on the Florida side." And so we're down there doing it, and that's what we do, and we participate with other auctioneers across the nation, and it's an incredibly nice society. When you're dealing with auctioneers, they'll look you straight in the eye and tell you the truth.
Yep.
And that's a beautiful thing about the auction business. You know doggone well, if an auctioneer tells you this, you know he's going to tell you the way it is, because he's got to back it up.
Sure, absolutely.
Every time.
Yes,
True.
sir. Of course, correct. In fact, one of the most challenging things that we have, maybe not for this guy, but one of the most challenging things that we have, the questions that we get is, how much do you think it's going to bring at auction, right?
Yeah.
We get that. How many times do you hear that today?
Every time.
Every time. That and you sound like this. Blah, 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 blah. That's what you hear all the time.
They don't
every
care.
Time. Yeah,
They
every
don't
time.
care.
Can you sell something for me? That's what they always say. Every time.
I love it when they say, can you talk fast? And I just go, yep.
Pretty fast. That was
Pretty quick.
that was pretty quick.
For sure. Hey, listen, we're going to be all over the board. We don't have a script today, but you know what? I know we can fill a half an hour. You mentioned being a ringman. What's a ringman?
So a ringman's when you get out there and you always hear on TV and all, yep, 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 yep. And you got to have those guys sometimes when there's a crowd of 300 or 400 people, because this is what we learn in auction school. Everybody's head does this when they're out there. So when someone's bidding, sometimes you may think they're bidding, you don't know yet, but the ringmen are on the floor a lot closer to the people out there in the crowd. So then they'll give you the sign, yep, yep, and then you just go with it like that. So.
And Marty, you sold a lot of livestock, so a ringman probably comes. That's the
Well,
original.
ringman comes in with a livestock market, particularly when you're selling something like a 4-H club or like I have here at the. You know, I've been on the auction block here in Polk County for the last 40. I think this year is 47th year.
How about that?
Selling hogs and stuff for the kids, the 4-H kids and FFA kids, and that's incredible. And having a ringman out there is an inspiration, not only for the auctioneer, but now if you're selling, you got a crowd, you got anywhere from 100 to 500 people sitting out there. And you can't see them all at once.
Right.
So it's up to the ringman to put that extra set of eyes. And also the ringman, a well-trained ringman, knows who to watch for. When you got a certain item come up, he knows who habitually bids on that
Sure.
item.
Yep.
And so that's the way it works. In this case, he knows, as an example, if we're selling animals from let's say frostproof, we know that frostproof contingency sits in the center, and they're going to be bidding.
Sure.
There's no question about it. So that's how it works. That's what a ringman does.
And the ringmen are very, very valuable. We say ringmen, and I know it's politically correct and whatever else. We're not very good at that. But so ring people, you don't have to be
Ringmaster.
Ringmaster's a good one, whatever. But the origin of that came from the idea that livestock would be marched into a ring, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And so that would be the person that would communicate with the auctioneer.
And in a commercial livestock market, the ringman will set the animal in. He'll bring a cow in, and he'll if you're selling by the head, he's going to start her at $400 or $600, whatever that market is, to get the auction rolling, because time is valuable. You only got a certain amount of time to sell a certain number of animals, so you can't sit up there and wonder about who's going to bid, who might bid, who could bid, beg them to bid. You can't do that. You be like Evan.
Yeah.
You wait on Evan to bid, and he will have sold 7 items.
Yeah, you have already, yes. That's why I call him a speed king, and he really is. And you know, we'll give you all a sample of it in a little while here.
In our world, in my antique world, in the auctions, our ringmen really are just for the event too, because it just makes the crowd a lot more funner when you're out there on each side, and you know you're yepping. My daughters do it. It's just a really fun thing, especially when you teach them really well how to do it. To me, honestly, I've always said this: I would rather ring for a really good auctioneer than call the auction, because I love to be hands-on with the people
Sure.
down there, making them bid,
Yeah.
because that's all about it, making them bid. And I love doing that. Now, we can do that as an auctioneer as well, but I do like ringing, probably because I started like that.
And not only that, but the ringman also, the audience have confidence in the ringman as to value. And if he stops bidding, the ringman can go back there and say, "Hey, look, the last one of these I sold brought X amount of dollars," and to bring that guy back on board. You know, he may drop out. He may drop out $500 too soon. You know,
It happens.
And for his own benefit, the ringman will put him back on and make a winner out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, you bring that up, and I, gosh, we've been around for so many years together, and one of the things that I love, one of the sayings that we have is the winning bid is only one more bid than the last bid.
That's exactly right.
So if you wondered if you paid too much, well, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but the idea is you're the winner, right?
That's
And,
it.
the interesting thing about our world is it's not the things that you bought. It's the things you didn't buy that you get upset about.
I understand that not only were you the president of the National Auction Association, but you're also the president of another club. What's that called?
It coulda, shoulda, woulda.
The coulda, shoulda, woulda club.
There's a lot of those in that club.
Yes. You know what, though? There is another club called Wish I Hadn't.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't.
What did I do? Now, when you come to Evans Auction, it's going to be fair and it's going to be friendly, and you're going to see some very, very nice people. But I will tell you this, fair and friendly is awesome. You better pay attention. he flies through it. So, listen, if you hesitate, you're late. That's it. You lost. Don't be sad. That's it. Don't frown. We always say, don't frown. The hammer's coming down. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, Marty. How did you get into the auction business?
Very simple. I had a great uncle who used to come to our house for our Sunday dinner, and one time my dad took me to a livestock market, and I seen the way that worked, and so Uncle Herman used to walk to the livestock market every Wednesday. So I told my mother I needed to go with Uncle Herman. We got to go walk town. It's only 5 miles. I can make it. I'm only 4 years old, but I can make it. And I did. So every Wednesday, I would walk to town with Uncle Herman. We go to the livestock market, and of course, I get up there, and I usually crawl out on the big old beam that went across the auction ring, and I crawl out on that beam, and 9 chances out of 10, I go to sleep. And he'd have to wake me up to walk back
great.
home.
That's
But I
terrific.
loved it. But the big part of that day was he bought a 5-cent ice cream cone. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. How about that? How about you?
But
You
that
said,
was the most exciting thing in the world to me.
all right. So you just stuck with it. It was in your blood.
That's right.
All right. And so now you're a teenager, and you decide I'm going to go get my auction license. Well, they didn't even have a license probably back then, right? You're just going to go learn.
Well, that's right. We actually didn't have an auction license.
Chris, they didn't have paper back then. So a license, you kidding me? The smoke signal to the door next door.
Those are built. Yeah.
But the bottom line was I went to auction college, and I came back, and I got home on a Friday, and Friday evening, and I got a call Friday night from a cousin of mine, and he said, "Hey, Marty," he said, "we're going to have a gun and dog auction Sunday over in Avaz, Missouri. You know who the auctioneer is going to be."
How about that?
That was my first auction. Wow.
How about that? Yes, yeah, you've told me that
And
story.
the dogs brought more than the guns.
Really? That doesn't happen that way anymore, does
Wow.
it? And as a matter of fact, you have a gun auction coming up in the spring. Do you know a date?
Well,
Normally do one in January, right here.
Probably do in January, February. We'll have another one. We've habitually had about 4 a year, and that's kind of what we average.
All right. I spoke to a guy today, as a matter of fact, about some guns, and I mentioned your auction. Now, Evan, you got one coming up, and we're going to probably get this posted. Today is Friday, November. What is today? The 14th.
Yep.
So we'll try to get it up today. If not, tomorrow morning we'll get that up. But tell me about what's going on in here on Sunday.
So Sunday, on the 16th, we're going to have
Sunday,
a bunch
Sunday.
of stuff. We have probably about 3,000 items. We'll be outside for about 2 hours. I stop, come inside. We're going to do a dual auction. I have another auctioneer. He is around here somewhere, Brian Turner, and I think Andrew's around here too. Another auctioneer. We got all kinds of auctioneers in this house
We're
today.
breaking some kind of fire
But
code.
I am going to go from about 10 o'clock to 12. I'll stop, come in here, and I'll call inside while they finish out there. So we always tell everybody, if you do come, bring a friend, or you can just leave bids for outside if you need to be inside bidding. You can go back and forth. We'll have the doors open. It's going to be nice and cool out. We are definitely going to have about 3,000 items. And then I also have a big Black Friday auction Yes, it is on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. We start at noon that day, and that's all brand new items. We do a lot of donations for the charity for the kids and stuff. So we have brand
Don't
new
skip
toys
over
and all.
that. Hold on,
Yep.
come on. Yeah, yes, just keep going. Talk
But
more
yeah,
about that because
we have a
what you
bunch of
do there
that.
is fantastic.
That's probably about 3 or 4 thousand items. We'll have some coins and jewelry, all brand new toys, tools. We'll have some bicycles, Christmas decor. We'll have all kinds of cool stuff like that, and that will be Black Friday. A lot of people are bored then if they didn't travel, so you go home, eat all night. That's fine, and that's why we start at noon on Black Friday instead of the normal time at 10. But noon and preview at 11. We'll be here all day and evening, usually on Friday, selling toys and stuff.
And a lot of what we do here on the Wild Boar Show is community centric. We talk about giving back. And what I wanted you to go talk about a little bit more in your Black Friday sale is that if I'm bidding on something and I don't want it,
Right.
right?
So we have a couple guys that only come down once a year just to sit in the crowd and buy toys and say donate it. And what they do is put their hand and point in the back. We have a pallet in the back, and they'll say donate it. And when we do that, everybody claps every time we do that, because I believe this year we're still going to donate to Peace River. So last year we donated to Peace River, which is also, they'll be on this property again, I think in February for the Halloween, I believe, which is an amazing event. It is the biggest event I've ever been to as far as charity auctions. But that is what we like to do. It's all for the community and stuff. There's a lot of toys. We literally have, 2,000 toys. People can come in. Now, you don't have to donate neither. You can always just buy stuff for you, your kids, your family, everybody, for your friends. We have a lot of cool stuff like that. So that's normally what that's going to be for, is all for that, for charity, though.
Now, that Peace River sale, that's here on Marty's property, right?
Yep.
Talk about that, Marty.
There's about 600 people that show up, and from all over the county and all over the country, as Evan said. And we raise anywhere between $500,000 and $700,000 in an evening.
That's terrific.
And it's a lot of fun, and we have just a tremendous amount of goodwill. And we raise a lot of money for Peace River. It's an awesome opportunity.
Now, is that something that they can go online? They can buy tickets. How do they get in? Is it invitation only? Is it the public can buy tickets?
They can buy tickets. The public is welcome. And
businesses as well, because then they get a whole table full. That's how they normally do.
Yeah, a business can buy a table and bring 10 people, and a table of 10, or however many tables he wants to buy. And the day before that, we have a shoot. They do a really, really nice pigeon shoot. The day before, so it's an event.
How about that?
It's a happening.
Yeah, I've certainly seen it set up. And so we're out at the Rockin' H Ranch. 100 acre. What do you? How many acres do you have out there? You got 100 acres out here. Evan told me he just bought some cows.
Yeah.
So Angela's shaking her head back there. Now you're.
He got rid of the Brahmas.
Now he's in the bovine
Now he's got
business.
cows.
There we go. What? Were you bored?
Well, what happened? We got rid of the Brahmas, and then we got the fences fixed, and then we brought some more cows.
That took a while.
But
Talk about free range chickens rolling around too.
I gotta tell you, tonight though, we have an absolutely gorgeous property. We're selling 6,000 square foot house in Lone Palm Golf Course, which is the golf course in Central Florida. Period. Bar none. Started by our good friend and a guy who has meant more to the state of Florida than anybody I know, which is George Jenkins, who created Publix, and that's his golf course.
Sure.
And we'll be there selling a 6,000 square foot house tonight at around 6 o'clock. And we invite everybody to be there.
Yeah, we'll certainly mention that. Now you also have another one coming up. I feel like I saw one. Help me here. Is this on tonight, or we have another one coming? You got another one coming up? I thought that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. All right. So Evan and both of you, Evan, how
we always got something coming up.
I know we do. That's great. Hey, listen, it beats the alternative,
That's
right?
true.
For sure. No, we're all
That's
in it,
true.
folks. One of the neat things I like to boast and brag about, and this is a great example of this. So Evan sometimes says, we get this many auctioneers in a room or a barn, and we're breaking some kind of fire code. But the point is this, is that if for some reason he can't handle it, or he can't handle it, or even I can't handle it, we have a network throughout the nation. We can get you taken care of for sure. And as Marty said too, we'll tell you the truth, and sometimes you don't want to hear it. I feel terrible telling people about that big old china cabinet full of busted up figurines, but that unfortunately there's not really a big old market in broken yadros anymore. But we can get it done for you. Now, for you, because hey, I sell here too. So what? what does somebody do to consign? That's what they all are, right? They consign. You don't
Right.
buy stuff; you consign it for the most part.
Right. So they're going to want to contact me at speedkingauctions.com if you have any items, and it doesn't matter. It can be anything. What I tell everybody is you always send me pictures first, because most people think, oh, it's just junk. Well, then I always ask them how many auctions you go to. So, right now shovels and stuff like that are actually bringing decent money, because if you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, a shovel costs you $45 now. So, we take anything from shovels to, $100,000 paintings. It doesn't matter. We'll take anything, but we like to look at it first. And then we just charge a commission based on what the item is. If it's anything titled with vehicles, stuff like that, we do a little cheaper for you. But you just have to contact us. We also do pickups. We do that. I also have another business. I have a clean out business because, like he just said, most furniture is not worth anything anymore.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. So we go in and we take out maybe half the items in the house, and then people go, "What do we do with the rest?" So then what I do is I go, "Well, now I can do a walkthrough and give you a price on the whole clean out, and just do a clean out for you after we take everything and so for you through the auction." So it's a whole lot better.
As an example, I got a call yesterday afternoon
Yes.
from a lady who's a broker who sold a house. The house is
Yeah. How much?
$12.5 million house.
Okay.
And she said, I don't know what to do. Stuff I gotta get rid of. So we'll get the next call.
So hopefully we'll go see that next week.
Hey, Lamont. We got it. So listen, I decided we're going to do a two-parter here is what we're going to do. So in just a few more minutes, we'll take a little 5-10 second break because we can edit it and we'll bring it back in. But let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that we talk about. Now, one of the challenges, now you have a clean out business. We get phone calls from real estate agents all the time. And Marty, you and I have we've worked successfully with real estate agents. And sometimes they're afraid to work with us because they feel like they're going to somehow lose out on money. We don't do that to them. They get paid first.
Unfortunately, the Florida real estate brokers do not totally grasp what the auction business is all about. You have to go up to the Midwest to understand that everything sells at auction.
Sure,
there's
it
no
does.
question about it. Thank you very much. The sale starts at 9 o'clock, and by 9:30 it's sold, and you can go home. But in Florida, the real estate industry is not accustomed to the auction method of marketing. And we've been trying to teach them that for the last 50 years. It's not doing very well sometimes, but I do get calls. I got 2 more calls this morning. And those are realtors that call me to handle the sale. So that does happen. And bottom line is, and what the real estate industry doesn't understand, we pay them.
Exactly. First.
Bottom line, the real estate, no broker walking on the face of the earth can never say we didn't pay them.
Correct.
If they helped us with the sale, we pay them. And that's the way it works.
Yep, for sure. I know that I've been in situations where you get up and it's some sort of social group or fellowship group, and I've seen agents get up and say, I've got 8 listings. And you go and you look, and they do have 8 listings, and there's not a single one of them that's newer than 90 days old. Yeah. Now, if you're carrying your property and you're carrying it for 4, 5, or 6 months, and it costs you $4,000 or $5,000 a month to do that, you started up here, and now all of a sudden you're $30,000 out of pocket no matter what we get you. Right. So the difference, what I always say is, look, if you want your house showed, you can go do this with this agent. If you want it sold, you call Chris the Wild Boar, you call Marty, you call Evan and his beautiful wife, and we'll get it done for you.
Here's the way it works. We're all in the auction business.
Sure.
The realtor starts at the top and comes down. The auctioneer starts at the bottom and goes up.
Really simple. And you know what?
And we'll meet in the
Makes
middle.
sense.
But in the auction business, we'll meet a heck of a lot faster. Right?
Really quickly. Yeah. Isn't it true? Sometimes it takes us longer to read the rules than it does. Sometimes it takes us longer to read the rules than it does to have the auction.
Most of the time.
And Marty Higgenbotham, he has so many Martyisms, and you got some too, but some Martyisms. And one of the ones that I like is he goes, Chris, we'll get them a number. Might not be their number, but we'll get them a number. We'll get them a number for sure. Yeah. For sure. That's it.
But what an auction obtains, and I don't care where the auction is, and I don't care what the auction is all about. What the auction obtains is a fair market value on whatever you're selling. And those of you that have got $10 worth of stock on the stock market, guess what? You're in the auction business.
Truly you
And
are.
those of you that drove an automobile down the road yesterday, guess what?
You're
The
in
value of that automobile is based on the auction.
Sure it
Period,
is.
end of quote. If you think you're going to get any more from that dealer than it brought in an auction last week, you forget that.
Nope.
So it's all the whole America system is set on the method of auctioneering.
Truly.
And that's what it's about. But again, it's a matter of education.
Wall
We're just not
Street's
there yet.
Wall Street's been called the biggest casino in the world, and I just say it's the biggest auction block in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, it is, right?
Exactly.
For sure. So, hey, listen. What we're gonna do, friends? We're gonna wrap this up at the end of part 1, and then we're gonna take a little break, a few seconds or whatever, and then we'll do part 2 on this. So, real quick, just so we have it, give them your website
SpeedKingAuctions.com
and a telephone number.
is going to be 813-389-4819.
Now, I'm doing that so that we can actually put it in the edit, and it'll actually be on the screen. Marty, same thing, buddy.
It's Higgenbotham Auctioneers International.
It's not, but that's okay. It's Higgenbotham.
Higgenbotham.com.
That's okay. I got you, buddy. I told you, auctioneers look out for auctioneers. Do you know your phone number, John?
863-640-6890. I answer it 24 hours a day, 9 days a week.
Yeah, 9 days a week. Now,
This is true.
When he first got issued that number, you had to turn the crank to even make a call. Friends, thank you so much for being here. We're going to see you in part 2.
Yes, sir.
We're out.